Tony Amen. I know you'll be wondering, this woman again this week. Yes, this is me. Don't forget that you can watch ARSN TV on the go on YouTube at ARSN TV and radio. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so that you can see different educating and exciting programs ranging from Agric today to economy to all the programs that we have going live on the website. This week is going to be another educating one as well. We're going to be touching on a topic that touches all. What am I talking about this week? It's the need for Young Farmers Club in our various schools. This has been one thing that is going into decline as most schools do not have the Young Farmers Club anymore to prep people, to prep children from taking decisions on career in the sense that we begin, if we, like they said, catch them young. When you catch them young, they'll be able to understand like, for example, for some of us who lived in the urban areas and didn't really stay in the villages, until some of us had the opportunity of participating or partaking in the Young Farmers Club, we didn't even know that yams were not plucked from the tree until then. So these are the the educating and advantageous part of having the clubs come on. And we've seen federal government has made calls on schools. We've seen schools like government girls secondary school do say, and kicking off with that taking the battle to run this so that their students can also participate and partake in this Young Farmers Club and enjoy what it is to know what agriculture actually means. The minister, Sabi Abdullahi, made the call when the principal and some key stakeholders paid a call on him in his office some time back. Now this week, our guest on the program is no other person than our economist, Mr. Gabriel Advert, is going to be telling us of what importance would this likely be to agricultural atmosphere and the whole sector as a whole in Nigeria, looking at the fact that youth now do not want to, in quotes, go into agriculture because they feel it is stressful. Before we go on that, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program will kick off properly. Stay tuned.
The federal government called for schools to key into the initiative of Young Farmers Club to enhance productivity, inclusivity, and food security in the country has again been brought to the fore. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliu Sabi Abdullahi, stated this while meeting with the delegation from the Government Girls Secondary School, Dutse Makaranta, to the Honorable Minister's office in Abuja. He revealed that the essence of the Young Farmers Club was to deepen the already existing agricultural practices within the school environment, such as poultry, fish farming, vegetables, garden, ruminants, and other forms of farming. He pointed out that the decision for the adoption was taken when ministry officials visited the school as part of the activities to mark the 2024 World Food Day celebration. He added that the First Lady of the Federation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is promoting the initiative of the Young Farmers Club through her Every Home is a Garden initiative designed to encourage first-time female farmers to cultivate home gardens with the opportunity to win a substantial 20 million naira prize, of which the ministry is in partnership. Senator Abdullahi revealed that the ministry, through the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, ARCN, will soon kick-start the process of adopting GGSS Dutse under the Adopted School Program. He further revealed that the ministry is ready to support the initiative and advocate for more funding, as food security is a key priority of the present administration.
Tinubu is holding sway across all the various sectors. You are in the educational sector, and for all this transformation coming at this period, all the linkages is actually giving more wings to the renewed hope agenda. This is the first time that we had to do something different while celebrating the World Food Day, which is a United Nations specific day, selected to celebrate and showcase the importance of food globally. In the ministry, we decided to visit the clusters and some selected schools, and your school happened to be one of it. So it was a privilege for me to lead that. And like I said, it was just a reminder that those days when we were in secondary school, Agric sciences was a subject expected to be taken by most men, while home economics was expected to be taken by most female. But times have changed, and I think it's also a reality today that both home economics and Agric, both men and female, all need those skill sets. When we visited your school, we were quite thrilled and amazed at what you were doing.
Thank you very
And
much.
it's a little effort, but then it opened also our eyes as a ministry that the decision to bring back the Young Farmers Club, which the office of the First Lady, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, is promoting in partnership with our ministry, I think is the right decision. And as part of what we do in the ministry also, the Agric Research Council of Nigeria, that was also part of the team during that visitation, happens to have a program called Adopted Schools Program. And that was why we said the ARCN should adopt government girls secondary school as part of the Adopted Schools Program. The staff who was there had already reported, and the executive secretary has intimated me that he's out of country, out of the town, but he will be back tomorrow, and by Thursday, the executive secretary and his team will be visiting your school to kickstart engagement on the Adopted Schools Program. So I want to give you that word and assurance. And the whole essence is to deepen what you are doing. We've seen the effort you have done. We've seen the pepper. We've seen the onion. We've seen the fish. We've also seen the yam. We saw the poultry. And we also saw the ruminants. So, and apart from that, we also saw ugu leaves and all the other vegetables that you are already in the path to planting. Like I said earlier, the First Lady is promoting what they call home in the garden. And so you can imagine if all of these are juxtaposed together and brought together, it means you are helping to already create a sense of awareness and promotion at that level. And I think for us, that is the way to go. We're going to continue this partnership with her, and she is going to deepen her own program, and we'll also see what we can do to support the adopted schools nationwide, which is actually a nationwide program, and we'll see what we can do to seek for more funding, because with what we have seen, if at that level students are already imbued with the consciousness and the skill set of agriculture, I think it will be a great thing for us. Food security is a very important issue, and today, no matter what we do, the bottom line the Nigerians will be asking is food on our table. How cheap is it? And I want to assure you that government is working to ensure that we step up production across our major staples, so that food will be not just be available, it should be accessible and at the right price that people can afford. We are not unmindful of that, but also we are also not unmindful of the fact that the current challenge we are facing is not an isolated case. It's a global phenomenon that has hit the world. The global supply chain has been broken, and a lot of adjustments need to be made. So part of what you are doing here is part of the kind of adjustment we would like to see. If, for example, all the boarding schools in Nigeria have the capacity to produce what they are eating, they will not go to the Nigerian market. So that will be a less strain on the supply that is in the market. And I think it is possible through proper programming for us to begin to drive that kind of vision, where all the schools will be able to also have what they produce, they will eat what they produce, and produce what they eat. So I think it's a very good thing, and I want to commend you for that effort and your team. What we saw was quite inspiring. We also enjoyed ourselves. It was, in fact, it was a very long experience for so many people, remembering being in secondary school, and some never went to a school as beautiful as that. And the environment was so green, well kept. Honestly, we were quite impressed.
Thank you.
And I want to assure you, we also on our part will continue to remember that and to serve as an inspiration for us to support all such kind of programs. And then finally, let me say that the idea of looking at entrepreneurship is correct, because in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, we are promoting agriculture as a business. So, and if you have to promote agriculture as a business, then the thinking has to be that of a business person who knows what you are putting in and what is coming out, so that your efforts will not just be in vain. And of course, you'll be aiming to make some profit, but of course, we also advise that people should not go for too much profit drive, because in the process, we create artificial price regime that will introduce scarcity and unaffordability. And I think that is one of the challenges we're facing now. Sometimes you are just at a loss as to why the prices are expensive. So these are the things we are looking at, and I think we want to thank you most sincerely, and we look forward to another wonderful day where perhaps we may have a repeat. And I think, like we said, the adoption of that school should lead to more innovative way of production, and we'll look into exactly how we're going to be able to achieve that. So I want to commend you, the Agric science teachers, did very well.
Earlier in her remarks, the principal of the school, Mrs. Fatima Mohammed, stated that the purpose of the visit was to express gratitude to the federal government for deeming the school fit for the initiative, stressing that the minister's presence at the school will remain memorable. She pointed out that last year, the school established a trade and entrepreneurship department where agriculture was made mandatory for every staff to use their backyard for cultivation of crops, fisheries, and vegetables for easy access to food supplies. According to her, all these are to ensure that the girl child stands out and excel in all ramifications.
We are here to come and appreciate your visit. Words cannot express our joy, and the representation we have here is to show our unity in diversity. Altogether, what you saw there was rightly put in place with the knowledge of not just the agricultural teachers, but there are others, especially the IRS teacher and the painting and decoration teacher. We just discovered the talent in them, and we decided not to allow the talent just to go down. So in collaboration with Mosul, who handles the fishery aspect, and other agricultural teachers, we formed the professional learners community that enables us to always make sure that the girls are hands-on. And luckily for us, I believe that we met with the Minister of Agriculture there, the young girls. We nurture them into the state of leadership so that there will be no gap when they grow up, going out into the society. They will meet exactly what they are being taught. And for that reason, the school last year established the Trade and Entrepreneurship Department, where the agricultural produce, the other things that we do around, like when Agric, like the fish, when they work around it and bring it out, we use it to cook for the children, and at the same time, if we get customers, we do sell it out. At the same time, we cook, and then, of course, it's the agricultural products that are being cooked. There are other things we do too. The beautiful things are innovative together with us, and we do come up with garment making, the painting and decorating aspects of it. Marketing skills are there for them to learn to do advertisements. Along the line, together, the major line of the curriculum is equally being carried out so that the girl child will be equipped in all ramifications to fit in to today's world in order not to make her become an out of the show, waiting for what to be. So our aim, our target, our vision and our mission is to ensure that the girl child stands out and excels in all ramifications.
Thanks for being here. Like I said, it's still Agric economy, and we're going to be looking at the importance of Young Farmers Club in agricultural development in Nigeria. Our guest to discuss this with me is Mr. Gabriel. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Let me use your time, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, during your time, we know that schools back then in the 70s, the 80s have Agric. Even though we have the curriculum is, the normal read, writes, and the same.
Yeah.
But then we still had rooms for students having practicals as regards agriculture, having these farmers clubs and the rest. You see students going home happily bringing seeds to come and plant in the school, and then they go at break time. They go to nurture the seed and check if it's been watered and the rest of it. How was it back then? Tell us.
Then it was very interesting because it's part of one of the things that make going to school tick. Because some of us used to look forward to those breaks that we'll be able to go to the farm and look at the vegetables, the yam or whatever that we are planting, the beans that we are planting, to see how they are growing, to water them, to be able to have what we are going to tell the Agric teacher in the next meet. And those days, it's also a thing of pride when you are a member of the Young Farmers Club, because we interact with other Young Farmers Club in other schools so as to share ideas. And the most interesting aspect of it is that we don't only deal with the theoretical aspect of agriculture. Some of the things that our teachers will tell us, we can feel them and see them physically, and even the stages of growth of crops, we visualize them when we plant them. We know when they grow, when the seed gets in, when it starts growing, what photosynthesis does, when we add water, when it gets to the stage of harvest and all those things. As we see them in the books, write them down in our books, we also have the opportunity to be able to practicalize them through our farming of these various crops in the school farm. Another thing then is that most of these schools, unlike now, we have designated areas for farming in the schools or around the school, where when you have gotten the theoretical aspect of it, you will also be able to get the practical aspect of it. And the teachers also look forward to the harvest of these agricultural products, because actually it goes to them. All we need to do is to plant, to farm, and when we harvest, we pack it, and the teachers are waiting for it to be shared amongst themselves. So it's a thing of joy when you partake in such practices and mingle with other young farmers then. In those days, even as much as people will not want to say when they grow up they want to be a farmer, but they have the knowledge of what it is when you say that you are going into farming. And some, when they find themselves in an area where farming can be practiced, they use the residual knowledge of what they have before.
Even in business, yes, even in business, you see some people, they'll tell you they're not farmers, but I have an idea about this, and then I can actually go into it. I can remember there was a year then in my school, I think a friend of ours planted, hers was yam, mine was beans. So, now we see parents do yam and beans and the rest. We didn't know that the beans needed to be removed from its pod. Yeah. And his yam is just very small, small like this. And then we have to bring in, what's it called? Back then now, Derica in Lagos now. This Derica tomatoes, not doing Advert for them. We brought it, we washed it, and then we had to go and look for these small sticks and make fire. Yeah. And then after cooking it, we're now looking at it. Everybody like this. So, that my friend today is Steve. They are from Benue. That's what he does today. He farms yam until this insurgency thing, security thing came up. and then he had to begin to look for white collar jobs. He's an economist, but he's a farmer. So, what's your word for youth? Because if you look at it, Agric these days seem like a disturbance. Let me use that word. To so many youths. Looking at devices, today you're opening your system, you're seeing this one as a 15-year-old has used the mother to do this one, has used the friend to do this one. Do you think the coming of this young farmers club will be able to address some of these vices?
Yes, there is a saying that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. I'm not supporting the saying of the former President Muhammad Buhari, that said that Nigerian youths are lazy. But really, if the perception is that agriculture is a very tedious work, you see most youths in the country today don't want to go through the tedious routes. They don't want to be that hardworking to till the farm or the rest. To be able to make ends meet. They want to go, they want it microwave. They want everything very fast, and that is why the menace that we are seeing in the country today, where very young people are aspiring to be millionaires at the age of 15, even less than 20 years old, and they do all sorts of things to be able to achieve their aim, not limited to killing, maiming, using all sorts of things just to get their victims to succumb to what they want. So if we are looking at the Young Farmers Club, it can also in a way bring dignity to the labor of the youths, because when this is entrenched back in the curriculum and is being properly implemented in our secondary, even from our primary school to secondary schools, it will really help to be able to reset the mind of our youth. Because I won't be surprised if you have some youths today, what do you want to be? They might say they want to be a Yahoo boy. Because that is the perception that they have. The perception of hard work has been removed. And they believe that going into agriculture is for people that want to work very hard. And most of our Nigerian youths, they want to work smart. And they believe by going through the route of fraudulent means and Yahoo and the rock is a way of working smart. So when this as Young Farmers Club is introduced back into the system and is properly implemented, some of the idle minds or some that have been confused by their mates to jettison hard work or dignity of labor might also reconsider their stand and start looking at agriculture in a different way. One thing I need us to know is that statistically, the youthful population of Nigeria is over 50% of the population. And if we want to be very serious, we need to focus on that large percentage, because they are the people that can turn around the situation of the country, even economy-wise. And that is why, as we are turning them out into the various markets, whether the job market or the education market or wherever, they need to have the basis of options that they have, not only for white-collar jobs, but also into other areas, SMEs, tech hubs, and this agriculture as well. But they need a foundation. And the only way they can have this foundation is when they have started as early as possible in their primary or secondary school days to learn what is called farming, agriculture, and all the respective agricultural value chain, so that when they grow, they will be interested in one aspect of it, and they will be a major contributor to the economic growth of the country, instead of joining their mates that are looking for fast cash.
I would say 80% of children now go to private schools.
Yes.
In the secondary, even tertiary institutions now. You see that 80% of students are now in private
universities.
What's your call to school owners? Because now it doesn't build on teachers. You even hardly go to schools and see somebody who read Agric is an Agric teacher.
I remember when we were in the university, we have people that are studying botany, we have people that are studying fisheries, we have people that are studying even Agric science. But I tell you that they don't even go near any farm. Some of them don't even see fishes until maybe they have gone near the ocean. and some of the
projects.
universities, they don't even have semblance of the practical aspect of it except for the lab. And when you enter the fisheries lab there, the best things you will see there is the aquarium and some dead smell of chemicals that they are using to preserve fishes. Universities, for example, are supposed to have all the criteria, all the need to be able to make this work. Even if it is private, there is nothing wrong with a private university having a poultry farm, for example, or an integrated farming practice that they will take students that are into agriculture or botany or zoology. They will take them to, so that they will see how it goes. There is nothing wrong in a university having an extensive fish pond. That these things I'm saying will be an income generating venture, but it is their students that are in this department that will be managing it. And at the end of the day, when a student has studied fishes and aquatic biology, for example, in university, manages a fish pond, know how a fish, how the growth and every stage of the fishes is done, he doesn't need any other training. When that fellow comes out, he doesn't need to go and look for a job anywhere. He's an authority. He can even start his own fish business and go ahead. The same thing with poultry, the same thing with integrated farming in the university level. That also does not stop the secondary schools from, even the private ones, from having farms that would even support the school's growth.
Okay, we've heard from our guests here that admonish even parents too needs to be admonished, really, for them to allow their children to participate in this club, not just go to the debate club, go to the jet club, go to this and that, forgetting that agriculture is also key. And unless we begin to make children understand from this tender age to love agriculture, we can do, now everybody is doing home farming. If you don't even know the rudiment, how do you want to start? Look at some institutions like University of Abuja, which I have visited personally, their farm. Look at Ilorin, look at Futa, and some other schools in the western region. You see that their agri department is more practical. I don't know if this is because these areas are agrarian areas where you see parents are majorly farmers. Parents of most of the students are farmers. Hence, when they get to school and then they are going into to read agriculture, you see that what they churn out from that place is top notch. Look at some institutions under the ARCN too. You see these institutions have farmlands. Even those that are saying they are doing advanced biotechnology, you see their labs are very elaborate. And I think if we begin to admonish our children to look in, it's going to reduce the amount of social vices that we have now in Nigeria. And that note, I'll tell you, thank you for joining us on today's episode. I hope you've been able to learn one or two. Join us again, same station next. Don't forget to like our page on YouTube on ARCN TV and radio. Subscribe and turn on your notification so that you can get other educating episodes of the program and many other programs that we have. Thank you for joining. Bye for now.